Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is January 27th, 2025, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Bitcoin takes a nosedive, but first, no major economic events scheduled for today. However, we've got a big week ahead. But first, looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the British pound and the euro continuing to advance versus the US dollar. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ didn't sell off too much on Friday, but this morning they are selling off quite aggressively. And looking at commodities, all the commodities, including gold, oil, and natural gas, also do continue to slide. And looking at the stocks, NVIDIA had this sell-off on Friday. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin takes a dive below 100K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So first, we're going to start with the Euro USD. Yes, it got a second bounce, and it is consolidating in this area. Now, we are hitting resistance level, at least at this 105-ish level, and we hit that, and then we retrace. We're about 104.80-ish level. Question is how much of a range we're going to be in today. Now, the leader of the pack is GBP USD. Okay, that was the one that went off the most, and it was also the one that was the weakest, right? The short sell squeeze is the one that goes the highest because that was the one that was sold off the most. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you look at the Japanese yen, it's trading sideways, not really trading, so we're going to keep it outside of the realm here. Now, shifting over to commodities. Now, gold had a decent sell-off from 27.85, which was close to its all-time record highs. Okay, if we look at a weekly chart, it's right there at its record highs, and then retracing down to 27.49. Now, when you look at it on a weekly chart, it's not big of a deal. It's just a small candle. But if we zoom out a little bit on a 4-hour chart, it's back to our 30-day moving average, which supposedly may be potentially a supportish level. Okay, so just keep that in mind and have this on the radar today because it is trading crude oil also retracing itself from that $80 a barrel, and natural gas continues to slide on the downside. Although we did have some place at 345 that we saw some support, it didn't hold through. It did sell off. Now, looking at the markets, the US market, starting out with the NASDAQ, that was the biggest one. Now, if you look at it, we got a triple top. Okay, this is a bona fide triple top, quite inflated at this area. And if you look at the Dow Jones, it did sell off, and it's close to its all-time record highs, making a lower high. Now, if we look at the individual stocks, JP Morgan did sell off from its highs at 266, but still relatively strong. Okay, the only one that was really sold off was, as we mentioned, NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA has been trading in this range, and it's going to continue trading at this range until something else happens. Now, we've got a big week coming up, okay? And it makes sense that we're selling off right before this big week. We got the FOMC interest rate decision this week. We also have Microsoft coming out with its earning report. So a lot of things are coming up this week, so we may have some more activity. Now, looking at Microsoft, it's trading sideways. It's at the top of its range, but still trading sideways. Facebook, Meta, which was super strong, retracing. Okay, so individual stocks are taking their rotation, and the market is kind of absorbing what is happening based on each sector, based on each stock, based on each company. So keep that in mind. Now, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin nosedives here. I mean, we went from 104 down to 98. Let's look at it at a daily chart. And can't hide the truth. Okay, when this takes a nosedive, it takes a nosedive. Okay, now it did consolidate up to this upper area. This is really hard to kind of catch up unless you're really just chasing it. But at this area, I do expect somewhat of a bounce, okay, because we are still at the bottom of the range here. Real next bottom of the range is 92. Okay, that's a much more stronger support, but we may see a bounce here as well later today. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.